The IMF International Monetary Fund just unveiled a new global currency known as the Universal Monetary Unit that is supposed to revolutionize the world economy. I'd like to know what the BRICS member nations think about this. A new global currency just launched, but 99% of the global population has no idea what just happened. The Universal Monetary Unit, Unicoin it says here, is known as Unicoin, is an international central bank digital currency. This should set off alarm bells for all of us because the widespread adoption of a new global currency, quote unquote, would be a giant step forward for the globalist agenda. The IMF did not create this new currency, but it was unveiled at a major IMF gathering earlier this week. Today at the International Monetary Fund IMF spring meetings in 2023, the Digital Currency Monetary Unit DCMA announced their official launch of an international central bank digital currency, CBDC, that strengthens the monetary sovereignty of participating central banks and complies with the recent crypto assets policy recommendations proposed by the IMF. Universal Money Unit, UMU, symbolized as ANSI character U, is legally a money commodity, can transact in any legal tender settlement currency, and functions like a CBDC to enforce banking regulations and to protect the financial integrity of the international banking system. As the press release quoted above indicates, this new universal monetary unit was created by the Digital Currency Monetary Authority. So who in the world is this Digital Currency Monetary Authority? Honestly, I had no idea, says the writer Michael Snyder, until I started doing research for this article. The press release says that the organization consists of sovereign states, central banks, commercial and retail banks, and other financial institutions. The DCMA is a world leader in the advocacy of digital currency and monetary policy innovations for governments and central banks. Membership within the DCMA consists of sovereign states, central banks, commercial and retail banks, and other financial institutions. Basically, it sounds like a secretive cabal of international banks and national governments is comprising to push this new currency down our throats. We are being told that the Universal Monetary Unit is Crypto 2.0, and those that created it are hoping that it will be widely adopted by all constituencies in the global economy. Again, I doubt that China, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and other members are going to join this system. The DCMA introduces Universal Monetary Unit as Crypto 2.0 because it innovates a new wave of cryptographic technologies for realizing a digital currency public monetary system with a widespread adoption framework encompassing use cases for all contingencies in the global economy. I don't know about you, but this sounds super shady to me. Of course, the Digital Currency Monetary Authority is not the only one that has been working on a new digital currency. The UK has also been working on one. The same is true for the European Union. And would it surprise anyone that the Biden administration is touting the potential benefits of a digital form of the US dollar? The following comes from the official White House website. A United States central bank digital currency, CBDC, would be a digital form of the US dollar. While the US has not yet decided whether it will pursue a CBDC, the US has been closely examining the implications of and options for issuing a CBDC. If the US pursued a CBDC, there could be many possible benefits, such as facilitating efficient and low-cost transactions, fostering greater access to the financial system, boosting economic growth, and supporting the continued centrality of the US within the international financial system. I don't think that it's a coincidence that governments all over the Western world are simultaneously developing CBDCs. And the IMF has actually already put together an extensive handbook, quote, to assist central banks and governments throughout the world in their CBDC rollouts, end quote. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, is putting together a central bank digital currency CBDC handbook to assist central banks and governments throughout the world in their CBDC rollouts. Published publicly on April 10th, the IMF approach to central bank digital currency capacity development reports outlines the IMF's multi-year strategy for aiding CBDC rollouts, including the development of a living CBDC handbook for monetary authorities to follow. A lot of people out there will cheer when these digital currencies are introduced, but it's imperative to understand that once everyone is using them, your financial privacy will be almost totally gone. Authorities will be able to track virtually everything that you buy and sell, and I'm sure that they won't hesitate to use that information against you. Needless to say, the potential for tyranny in such a system is off the charts. Can you imagine a world in which you are restricted from buying meat for a while because you have already used your carbon credits for the month? Your financial privileges could potentially be restricted at any time at the whim of the government bureaucrat, and if you are a big enough troublemaker, you could be deplatformed from the system permanently. Of course, in order for such a system to have real teeth, cash and other forms of payment will need to be phased out, and that is precisely what's happening right now in Europe. The following comes from the official website of the European Parliament. To restrict transactions in cash and crypto assets, ministers of European Parliament, MEPs, want to cap payments that can be accepted by persons providing goods or services. They set up the limit for 7,000 euros for cash payments and 1,000 euros for crypto asset transfers where the customer cannot be identified. Ultimately, they will just keep lowering the limits until the use of cash is almost completely eliminated. Everyone will be slowly but surely forced onto the new digital system, and it will be a system that they can control with an iron fist. And most people will willingly go along with it. These days, most people are just scraping from month to month, and one recent survey found that 70% of all Americans are financially stressed at this point. Inflation, economic instability, and a lack of savings have an increased number of Americans feeling financially stressed. Some 70% of Americans admit to being stressed about their personal finances these days, and a majority, 52%, of U.S. adults said their financial stress has increased since before the COVID-19 pandemic began in March 2020, according to a new CNBC Your Money Financial Confidence Survey conducted in partnership with Momentive. Most Americans simply don't care that these new digital currencies could open a door for great tyranny. They just want to be able to pay their bills and take care of their families. And if our politicians tell them that this new system is good for the economy, they will be all for it. But those of us that are awake know that more globalism does not lead anywhere good. Concentrating even more power in the hands of the international elite is always a bad idea, and hopefully we can start to get more people to understand this. And this is from Michael Snyder. He says about the author, my name is Michael, and my brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing. And one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I've also started a brand new Substack newsletter, and I encourage you to subscribe to that so you won't miss any of the latest updates. I have published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the most important news. And the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others, definitely a great help. These are such troubled times that people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. And this is on the Economic Collapse blog by Michael Snyder. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.